Hey, what's up, YouTube? Alright, here is part 2 of me putting my portfolio together for WonderCon. Again, this is just focusing on one artist, which is the Viktor Bogdanovic art. But these pages kind of ended the last video, but you'll see. I filled the rest of the book. I think there was 26 slots still open, so quite a bit of art went in this. Oh, and I wanted to show you these. So this is what I do. In Photoshop, I just took the text tool and I created my price tags. So on every page in the corner, I'll have one of these with the price underneath it. And these are for the John Romita Jr., Suicide Squad, and All-Star Batman art. And yeah, it's perfect because when someone flips through the portfolio, they know right away that the art is for sale. They know the price, and then you can again start a conversation about it, which is, hey, would you take this for it? And you go, well, are you going to get me coffee? Are you going to bring back a salad with chicken? Because I like chicken. No, but you know what I mean. Like you can kind of, it's a kickoff point to future conversations about that piece. What I find is if you don't have anything priced in the portfolio, people will flip through it. They'll usually go a few pages and then they shut it, and they move on. So, you just want to make sure that, give you some details on these. Yeah, you just want to make sure that they're aware that, hey, the piece is available for sale. That's what you're there for. Not necessarily to sell art, but, if you have merchandise, you want to make sure that they understand quickly what's going on. Don't make any assumptions because, again, you've got a person who's been walking around a convention for who knows how many hours. An hour, 2 hours, 6 hours. They could be tired, their feet could be sore, and maybe they still have some money in their pocket and they've been looking to find you all day. And, you want to make sure that you, look how 3D that is. Yeah, you just want to make sure that you're able to provide for them a very neat and clean experience. And, original art can be very, very expensive. I mean, I was looking at a couple of art dealer sites this morning just to get some ideas on pricing. And, again, some pages are $40, $60, $80, 100, 150, but you can really kind of march up to pretty high numbers, even for interior sequentials, and of course splash pages go for more because they're very desirable. You'll find art collectors, a very, very common sort of like email that you'll get out of the blue is, hey, I'm a fan of what you did on David Finch. Do you have any covers or splash pages? I mean, I would say 80 to 90% of the emails that you get are going to focus on those. And, unfortunately, there's maybe one splash in a book, two. There could be a double page spread, and then there's one cover. So you're talking about, a very, very small percentage of what a comic book is made of. And a lot of these collectors, that's all they want. That's all they're interested in. And, you kind of price accordingly. They've created their own sort of focus group of what they want. And, yeah, it's just one of those things. There's a very, very limited amount of those pieces. And the best of the best, are the key collectibles, and those are the ones that will really go up in value over time too. If you really want to see crazy prices, look at what like sold auctions of some comic book art, even from the 80s, goes for. I mean, some of that McFarlane, Spider-Man stuff, and Frank Miller, Dark Knight. I mean, those are very, very iconic books, but the good stuff will go up. These are really interesting pages. This is the beginning of Superman, New Superman #1. It's a very memorable scene with the main character kind of being a bully, and you really don't know why. And it's a really cute like sequence. Anyone that's read the comic, I think, would really enjoy to see these originals in person. And they're affordably priced, but still, it's a very, very like. This is where it all started for that series. Was these couple of pages. This is Blue Condor, the first appearance of him in the book. And then, it's pretty funny. He throws like a soda can at him. So anyway, but yeah, I wanted to bring those because I thought that they're like, if you're a fan of the book and you've read, especially the first issue, you're going to really remember that scene. And at the very least, they'll be fun to see. So again, the rest of this book is all either new Superman or Deadshot. So, I'll give you some more details. But yeah, it was very, very fun putting this together. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to do my John Romita Jr. stuff, and I have two Chris Buckalow pages that I'm going to throw in another portfolio. And that's going to be it for original art for this show. Like I said, I think Victor's stuff is really kind of coming into its own, and people are definitely getting more and more interested in collecting his original art, which is smart, because now is the time to be getting it, because when everybody catches on, you're going to be dealing with a very competitive market, and you start throwing some stuff up on eBay and people start, trying to outbid each other for it. It can get a little crazy, and then that creates the new price market. So yeah, just stuff for artists to be aware of. I'm sure if you're just a fan and a collector, it's kind of interesting too, but the business side of it really kind of, it's both things. There's collector strategies, and then there's artist strategies. It's pretty interesting. What do you want to call it, like thing to get involved in, and there's definitely a learning curve and stuff like that with it, and I've been following it for a while, so I'm pretty savvy, but there's definitely layers and levels and all kinds of interesting things that go on with that stuff. Very, very, like, the people that collect it are very different. This is a great page. It's always interesting too, is I tend to price my stuff a little lower than some people, and it's when I see someone like sell something that I've sold them for more money, I actually kind of look at it as a positive thing, and you might go, well, why? But to me, I would rather see people making money and coming back to me and buying more art than you sell someone something for, we'll just pick a random number. We'll say $1,000. Say someone buys something for you for $1,000, and they put it on eBay, and it only goes for like 600 or 400, or they don't even sell it. No one bids. You're going to be in big trouble. So you want to be careful how you price your art. That you kind of do actually want to see people make a little bit of money on it, because that's a healthy market that has room to grow, and you can always sort of adjust your prices accordingly. But yeah, when you start selling stuff for more than what people can get back on it, it could be a dead-end alley. It's hard to say. Who knows? Maybe it's different for everyone. Time always tells the tale. That is the way it is. So, but yeah, and hang on to your best stuff. I think it's a good idea. You don't want to be the guy that sold your Dark Knight #1 cover for $250, and then one day it sells for like $200,000. That would be a nightmare scenario. God, I can't even imagine. That would suck. Hopefully I never see that. Hopefully nothing that I sold. Well, I mean, nothing against the collectors, but yeah, that would be crazy. That would be really crazy. You're like, oh my God, sold that piece for $350 at Comic-Con in 2002, and it's like, it goes for like $80,000 or something, because it was like the death of some character. Dun dun dun. Oh my God, what happened to Keenan? It's a really cool piece, though, actually. But yeah, so you want to be careful. Like I said, if you can swing it, sell the good stuff, keep the best, and I try not to flood the market with a lot of the more sort of just there's nothing really of interest on the pages. I personally don't really think that you need a ton of that out there. I mean, sure, you could sell them for a few bucks and pocket it, but at some point it kind of might sort of like oversaturate the market, where there's a lot of like so art from, and it's not that they're bad pages. It's just, again, like say you do a Batman story and there's Commissioner Gordon, drinking coffee in his bedroom or in his living room, and there's really just nothing going on the pages. If you have 100 pages of that stuff out there, or even more, it could be kind of weird. So anyway, it's just food for thought. I mean, I'm sure there's many different angles and approaches you can have to that kind of stuff, but Yeah, Dustin, Wynn, and I, when we would split up art, we would create three piles, and this was based on sort of a, I think Jim Lee and Scott Williams had done this at one point. I'm not saying that they still do, but you'd kind of create like an A pile, which were the best pages, a B pile, which, obviously were the nice pages, but maybe not like the just, oh my God, like that is the most incredible interior piece ever. And then the C pages, which are just, again, the ones that are very, very challenging to sell. Like a page like this. Like, say if this is a cool page because it's got this, but imagine if it was like 5 panels of like these guys, pulling up to the harbor, loading docks, and they're unloading stuff, but they're really no name characters. And even if it is a named character, but they're not in costume, those would be like, that would be like a C page. But because it's got this big shot of Deadshot, it's like a B. So that was how we kind of did it. And then, we would just go through the A pile and split them up, the B pile and split them up, and then the C pile. And again, I try not to put too much of the C level pages out for sale, just because I don't really think that there's any need for a ton of that. These are all double page spreads. Let me get this out for you. So this is a Deadshot double page spread. And yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to like have some dialogue with the art, and hopefully it's somewhat interesting. And again, there's always a different way to look at something. So what I'm saying is just it's one take. I may listen to it back and go, it's, some of that advice is not great, but anyway, it gives you a starting off point to think about things. Let me just set the phone down for 1 sec. Well, I put this back in the sleeve, and I'll grab out this other spread. I'm still here. Don't worry. It's a little dark. All right, here we go. It's a really, really cool double page spread. I've showed this before, I think, in just like sort of like a Viktor video, but yeah, this is great. I mean, if this was Jim Lee or Capullo, they would want, $10,000 for this thing, probably more. But because it's Viktor, they're cheap still. But someday they won't be if he gets big and popular. That's how it goes. It's like, and again, and there's always layers to this. I mean, some people get popular, but they never get to like legendary status. But imagine like Todd McFarlane back when he was working on Amazing Spider-Man. I think that those books were very successful. I don't really know what the numbers were, but there's always like a growth curve, and stuff like this. I'm sure in the late 80s, if Todd was selling art, he'd sell them for a few $100. I'm kind of curious too of the stuff that he did sell that's out there, like the stuff that had gone up to auction, what those pieces, how did he originally sell them, or what happened? Because he always inked his own stuff. I mean, once he got rolling. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I know that there was at least two covers that went for a lot of money. One went for like $55,000, and man, those are some just insane numbers. It's like, it's legit. I'm just gonna set this up here because there's only one more thing left. I really love this page. Actually, the next one I'm going to show you is really, really cool. I've always liked it. So anyway, but yeah, so that's the Viktor Bogdanovic Batman Arkham Knight, New Superman, and then Deadshot original art that I'm bringing to the show. And again, I'm bringing what I consider B and A level pages of Vic stuff. At a show, you really, you don't want to bring a bunch of sort of mid-level stuff unless that's all you have left, because I mean, again, you're going to turn someone off if they start flipping through a portfolio and the pages are all kind of dogs. They're going to shut down really quickly, and then if you've got good stuff somewhere else in the portfolio, they may miss it. So, just be aware. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Again, WonderCon, table C19 in Artist Alley. I'll be there all 3 days, and come by if you're going. And if not, thanks for checking these out. After the show, if someone's interested in picking up some pages, just let me know what it looked like. And we'll somehow get you my email or vice versa, and we can talk. But yeah, I mean, the show's tomorrow, so I'm not going to have time to sell this unless someone's already contacted me about a specific piece. But anyway, they will be available, and I'm sure that quite a bit of this stuff will be left over after the show, so don't fret. And I have quite a bit more here at the house, so either way, this is good stuff, but this is just a portion of what I have. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. I probably won't be back until Monday. So, okay, I will talk to you later. Bye.